Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxy, on the show this evening as a one and only Albert. Evening, Albert.
Evening, pal. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Frustrated, but personally okay, mate. Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds about right, mate. That sums me up as well, mate. That's just nicely summed up. Good night.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yes. Yeah, it does feel a bit like that, mate. Look, before what we'll do quickly is we'll get the phone lines open, Jess.
Yep. Get the
All
troops
right.
in.
Welcome to join us right for the start of the show. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I used the word frustrated, mate. I think that's. I was annoyed, delighted, and annoyed, and then frustrated all at the same time. So, look, I'm sure the boys would have covered it long and hard on Friday night, and we know how difficult it is to do any show when you don't get a good result. But it's not the end of the world. It just felt like at the time because we were so looking forward to the new season, and your bubble's been burst quite early, mate. The positives for me were the goalkeeper in Asgard. The negatives started right at the start, mate. I wasn't sure on the team selection and what shape we were trying to do. It did look like a 4-2-3-1, what me and you talked about, yeah?
Yeah.
With Diamande and Devlin sitting way in front of them, Asgard on either side. The Dairy, which I just couldn't figure out on the right. Gasman on the left and up front, Shanklin. That's what it looked like to me. It wasn't a perfect setup. I don't think the Dairy can play there, mate. Yeah, I don't know what your taking it was.
Well, Big Nadiri, that's no his game. It's just simply isn't his game. Now, some people might say, well, what is his game? But that's still to be decided, but that certainly isn't his game. He's no target man. If we're going to play that type of football, and I'm not saying we don't have to, we don't want to play that type of football when you have to do it, but sign a target man. Get the guy who's going to specialises in that type of game, get him in. Stop trying to make people into something or not. Neither of the other four can play that. I know, but neither of the four forwards can play that target man. It's just no their game. So if that's what we're going to play, it might just be a one-off. But if he's wanting that as an option, he should sign a target man. That's just one. That's the start of it, mate.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't like it. I mean, I don't see Nadiri was playing as right up front as a target man, mate. He was a guy out of possession, was going to the right hand side, their left, to cover the run of their most effective player for last season with the long throws and their left back, mate, and really never worked because I don't think he's that type of player. So we started the game okay, mate, and then we fell into the trap that we just didn't pass the ball well enough. And I'm not talking about, when somebody has an effort to make a hard pass and it doesn't come off. I'm talking about sometimes basic passes that we don't get right. The weight's never right, yeah. Apart from a straight pass when somebody's running through and goal, mate, every pass should be heavy. Yeah, we're playing passes short, putting people under trouble, and I'm not talking about difficult passes. So then it's no making it, and then you're under pressure because if it's in the midfield and everybody's running forward, you lose momentum and you're falling back. So that was one of the things that annoyed me. I've talked about it a lot in here, and it didn't come right. We huffed and puffed, mate. And we weren't peppering the goal. They weren't peppering our goal. We were having corners, they were having throw-ins, and it wasn't the greatest football fest I've ever watched.
No. But to be honest, mate, the team that you touched on at the beginning there, the team selection, and I agree with you, mate. But let's get it straight, mate. that group of players we had on that part, I'm calling them a group, they're not a team, we're calling them a group of players, are good enough to beat that Dundee United team.
Should be.
Come on, mate. It's something seriously wrong with them if they're going on there and playing like that and can't beat that team, that Dundee United team, because they are absolutely nothing special. And if they think that Dundee United is a serious test for them, they're just going to get a rude awakening heading their way, mate, because there's a lot of other teams are going to play a lot better than they're playing. And at times we couldn't handle. It's just good when team, he's just sitting waiting for you to make the mistake and pick you up. You know, and he's attacking the same spaces we left last year, exposed down the wings, ball comes across. We keep losing the same goal over and over and over again. The fullback can't cut them out. It's just the same thing over and over again.
A guy that we've championed on here, Romans, mate, I don't think he had a good game, but I'll tell you now, Big Fernandez at centre half, mate, since the split, yeah, that's no 6 competitive games, mate, in defence, in my opinion, has been poor.
He's not been poor, mate. He's been woeful, absolutely woeful. He made one good tackle the whole game. And he's been caught sleeping. He's been caught dithering on the ball. He's been caught no concentrating. He's been caught out of position. He's putting himself out of position. He's missing tackles. He's hitting tackles and hitting them off his own players and setting up chances for the opposition. Everything you could do wrong, he done wrong. And he just looks. I like Big Fernandez, and we agree. There's a player there. It's just that there's something wrong with him. There's something. Don't know. Somebody's getting his head. Somebody's promised him something. He's no want to be here or whatever. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't look interested to me. But near does most of the team.
No. The back four that we didn't think there was going to be a problem before the game started, mate. You know, because you have to part the pre-season games. You know, we thought, all right, we'll be okay there. Well, the goal, Fernandez goes out of position. I don't know what Asgard tried to do, mate. I know it comes off him and breaks to the boy. He puts it out to the wing. Romans is slow getting across, mate. As I said, I didn't think he had a good game, and I've championed him on here. The ball goes into the middle. Fernandez is out of position, takes Godfrey. The boy sort of dummies it. Fernandez is still nowhere near it. And if you watch it, it's the boy who he's been up against he's not even ran away from him. He's basically walked away from him, mate. And he's sort of, I don't know. I was going to say kicked in the net. I don't know if he really did, mate, but he ended up in the net. You know, so we're then 1 down, and you're thinking, here we go. You know, so the goal was poor, mate. And we huffed and puffed. And I'll be honest with you, at half time, I didn't think anybody was good. I wouldn't have took Gassama only because he looked to have a small threat. You know, and I'm not his biggest fan. We'll talk to him long and weary on here. But on the left, and he showed that he had a wee bit, he done a nice cut inside. But Derek wanted to change it a wee bit. And obviously, ultimately got it right, because we did win the second half. But we were fortunate to death, mate, when they missed that sitter. And I'll ask you this, mate. We played at a good tempo, got the equaliser, then we just stopped playing.
How often have we done this? Time and time and time and time again we do this. We score 2-0 against the scum at Ibrox, stop playing. Just completely stop playing. 1-0 up against Hearts, come out the second half, stop playing. We'd keep on doing this. I don't know why we do it, but we keep on doing it. And everybody's doing it, saying it's other teams tactically superior and all this carry on. A great tactical move by the opposition managers. They're not doing anything, mate. Think McInnes said it to you. They've never done anything. Just put another player on. Nothing special, no great check. And all of a sudden we just fall apart. We just, concentration goes. People know working again. I says the collapse last year, we need to get to the bottom of why that collapse happened, mate. In the club, we need to get to the bottom of that. That was one of the most important things of pre-season. We need to get to the bottom. Because if we can't get to the bottom of it, it's going to happen again. And I think what you watched there in Friday was another version of it. You've got to get to the bottom of this. But there you go. The team selection, you could have said, well, wasn't it right? But you don't know that. And as I said at the beginning, that collection of players should have been enough to beat Dundee United, but they weren't. They weren't even close to beating Dundee United. And if truth be told, we should have got beaten. We should have. We should have walked away.
If I go run the team for the weekend, and I'll just quickly hit or miss, right? Goalkeeper hit me, and I'll tell you why. Because his agility and his speed off his line. He didn't have a lot today, but he came out and got a couple of balls that I think with a previous goalkeeper would have been looking at potential. Oh no, what's going to happen here? Because he would have been, should have come, should have gone. We've seen him before, yeah. His speed to the ground and the way, but he's an aggressive goalkeeper, and I don't mean that. I mean, and try to get the ball and getting the ball quick. That kind of aggression, yeah. He plays the game at a fair rate or not. So he's a hit. The whole back four for me, and I'll include McCrory when he comes on field on Friday night. In my opinion, the midfield, Diamande flattered to deceive. Devlin, I don't think he looked fit, and I'll tell you how I base that on. I watched him stretching his calf out of possession when I think they were taking. I think it was one of the many throw-ins they had. Funny how that 5-second rule doesn't take long, does it? Just have the ball go for another ball, yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. Didn't take long, did it? I told you, didn't I?
No.
So, Devlin, I think he was watching on his groin because they'd mentioned it before. And then he had a good game. Diamande flatters to deceive again. We talk about this. He comes out with the ball and then he can't pass it, mate. And he gave away a free kick in the first half because he can't even know he did it, mate. He just shoved the ball out at the edge of the box. And I wonder what goes on in his head. He's got skill. That doesn't make you a football player. There's, especially in that position, you've got to be able to make decisions. Right decisions to hurt teams and right decisions to help your defence. I don't think it's there. Nadiri, Shanklin and Gasma, all right, they didn't get too much service, but their control, their influence in the game was very little. And I actually think that apart from a nudge, I thought Shanklin was pretty anonymous, mate. Apart from one small shove, he was anonymous.
Yeah, we got a goal out of it.
Aye, we got a goal out of it. He was involved. Aye. If you get an assist for that, I'm beginning to struggle what you have to do to get an assist. I mean, he did make the guy he did, and it was a brilliant bit of skill for Asgard. So I've got two people I've given pass marks to. Asgard, who we've talked about on here often, and my new goalkeeper. And for me, the rest were 5 or below me, and that's me being kind. And that's a sad endearment. And I don't think it was anything to do with fitness. I don't think it was anything to do with tactics, because obviously tactics don't mean, it doesn't matter what the tactics or what the shape are, you've still got to be able to pass the ball properly.
Right. 3-3, it's not a day with what you just said there, isn't it? It's everything to do with teamwork, mate. And we don't play as a team. Right. Forget the mediocrity in the team, and it's full of it. But you still got to play as a team, and we don't. You look at the defence. Sterling's caught out of position 19 times. I don't know if that's his instruction, but he's caught out of position. Romans is the same. You look at what do you call him, Godfrey. He's trying to over impress, mate. The goalkeeper pass marks, but his test is coming, mate. He's not been tested yet, but his test is coming. Right. Fernandez, he just does what he wants to do, mate. He's not playing as a team player. None of the defence was playing as a team. They just weren't. Then you move into the midfield. Exact same in the midfield. It's no operating as a team. It's no dovetailing with the defence. There's no dovetailing with the forward line, and it's no even dovetailing with each other. There's individual players. Then you go up to the forward line again. No playing as a team. You watch the Chermati chance. It should have squared to Shanklin. I'm doing it my own way. You go Gasman. He's getting their instructions. Take people on. No, he doesn't want to take people on. You can see it. I'm going to do this. I'm not really wanting to do this. Because he's wanting a free ride. He's wanting, I'll give him the ball and he'll just pass it back. Easy stuff, easy play. Right? And then you look at Nadiri. What he's doing, I don't know what he started him for. I don't know what role he asked him to play. But whatever it was, it didn't work. Shanklin ineffective. Shanklin's has got a football brain and he can score goals. But you've got to get him in the right part of the park and feed him, as everybody's been saying for the last since the game. You've got to feed him. If you don't feed him, you may as well sit him on the bench. And that's the fact. We're just no operating as a team. Now we'll get back to one individual, Diamande. I mean, I'll be honest with you, mate. That's the stupidest player that's ever walked onto a football platform. He has no football intelligence. Zero. He does wee turns, he does this, he flicks this, and every time you think, oh, there's a play. And then you see him doing the most stupidest things, and you're saying, don't you just play like a midfielder, son? Midfielders are the good engines, and they'll get great control, and they can pass a ball. They can see a pass and pass a ball. Why don't you just do that for a change instead of this pirouetting? And I don't know what you're trying to do. He's on the ground at times trying to pirouette. It's crazy, mate. He's the stupidest player that's walked onto a park, in my opinion, mate. I just don't see it with him. And I'll tell you one thing, if McInnes is going to depend on him, and it seems to be he's a choice at the moment, I'll say at the moment, he better not fill his desk up with his personal items, because he'll not be in a job that long. Because players like him and the performances like him and the others will get him his jotters, mate. It's a fact. It's done it with all the rest of these managers, and he needs to sort this and sort it quick. I like his attitude to big Chermiti when he went to see the referee, and Chermiti came out. You can see him. I think he swore at him. He just get out my sight, you. Because what he done with Shankland. I mean, that if he squares that, Shankland's going to show it. If he's not going to show it, Curtis will show it. And if you score the goal, you walk away with a victory. That we always say we don't care how we get it, just get it. That would have been the victory. If the ball maybe went to them, better chance than what he done with the ball. But that's not a team player, mate, what he done there. That's got nothing to do with greed and, he's an out and out forward and he just wants to. That's got nothing to do with that, and everything to do with not a team player. It's ridiculous, mate. A player that so-called caliber, going for that kind of money, can he turn around and think that quick and say he's in a better position? As a team player, I'm getting to him. And I bet you if Shankland was getting closed if he came here, I bet you Shankland would have moved it on to Curtis, because Curtis was sitting standing wide, free. But you've got this big clown taking a shot, an impossible shot, and a powder puff shot at that. No, it's madness, mate. It's madness. See if they would just start playing as a team, it would cover a lot of damage for them, each as individuals as well. They're mediocre when they would shine through as much as it would if they would just click as a team. But some of them need to look at themselves, really look at themselves and saying, am I actually a team player? We Devlin, I'll give Devlin. He tries to be a team player. But he had too much. Too much today, mate. Too much today. He's in the left back position. Then he's in the set. Then he's up at the right outside right position. Then he's through the middle position. He's everywhere, mate. You're going. He's getting too much today. Can't he do it all himself? Some players need to pitch in here. He can't be the only workhorse in there. They've all got to put the effort in and up their game, up their work rate. But as far as I was concerned, talk about frustrated. Frustrated didn't even come close. Didn't touch the sides with me, mate. I was raging. Absolutely raging. I don't know why I was raging, because I shouldn't be raging, because this transfer window, I've told you before, I told Big AK as well, it's mediocre. I don't see any player to get excited about. I'm looking at all the signings, the 8 signings, and I'm saying the goalkeeper, but yet to be tested. The boy we've not seen yet, Dragovic. Not seen him yet. Right, we've not seen him, but the rest of them, I'm underwhelmed with them. I'm saying before they even went on the park, mate. Before even pre-season games started, the friendlies, I'm underwhelmed with the signings. I'm just looking at them going, they're mediocre at best. I don't see anything special with them, and I don't know what we're trying to build here. And one of the other things I'd like to ask the question is this player profile that we've got, and these scouts and all that. What is this player profile? Does it include, can he run, can he pass, and can he shoot? Because if it includes the 3 things, well, they're doing a great job, because that's all we seem to get. Players that can he run, can he shoot, and can he pass? Well, I don't understand what's going on. Mate.
If you take the front of the team at the weekend, Curtis, Gassama, and Nadiri, Chermiti, they were all apart for Shankland, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I thought Shankland was pretty anonymous, right? But that's maybe more you've got to get service, what we talked about. Left and right, we've looked as if we've got a problem, mate, at the forward there. You then move into the midfield, and all of a sudden, we became a one-man team. Yeah. A guy that we I'll use the word pillared on here at times because he got on my nerves.
Yep.
He's turned into my talisman, and he's working hard, and he's trying to get involved, and he's trying to make everything happen. And it's not possible for him to do that because he got us a goal out of nothing, really. It was a great bit of skill and a great finish, and we know he's got that in his locker. Yeah, but he can't do it all himself, mate, and they're not being fair. So, apart from him, mate, they're the piece, mate. Very little to offer going forward. Yeah, we lost a goal, but we should still be able to score a goal in each half, mate, potentially.
Mm.
And I keep going on about this. Win both halves of football, mate, and you can never draw. Yeah, we don't win many halves of football, mate, and we haven't done, and it's been frustrating for a long, long time, mate. We either get it right in the second half and we pull ourselves out a hole, or we go ahead in the first half and we're hanging on and we lose it. If you look back, mate, in games that you're hoping to win, mate, we haven't won both games of both halves often. And you mentioned Hearts. Look back to Motherwell. The first half we lost, we won the second half. No good, mate. 2-0 done before we start playing. Yeah, you've got to go in the park, the right attitude.
Well, the Motherwell game, mate.
Right,
You see the Motherwell game. But the Motherwell game at Ibrox, I told you that was the first game with the split that we had to play it. Right, I'm sitting there watching the warm-up. I said this after the game. I was sitting there watching that in the warm-up, and they're showing you what they're going to do. See the practice, the practice, and they're showing you what they're going to do. I'm looking at it, and they're using their full half to do it, and they're all lined up, running down towards their own goal, firing the balls across. I'm looking at it and says to the guy next to me, went, they're actually showing you their tactics. Is anybody out there paying attention? Look what they're doing. And then they come out of traps, and that's exactly what they did. The goals they scored was exactly what they were practicing. You're sitting saying, what is wrong with us? Because everybody knows our weaknesses, mate. Everybody knows where the gaps are in our team. How we're going to play, what we're going to do, who's going to do what. The run's going forward. We've no pace. We're not going to run away from anybody. Just wait, because they've not got the quality to retain the ball for any length of time, and they will give you the ball back. If we can't win it back, they'll definitely give it back, and that's what we do. How many times did we give that ball away on Friday night? How many times, mate? How many times did certain players get caught in possession with the ball? And that's if you're playing a counter-attacking team and you get caught in possession and you give the ball away, that's the fuel they need, mate. That's all they're waiting for to trigger the counter-attack. And that's what happens. And they attack the gaps. And that's all Goodwin says. We know Sterling's going to be up the park, and that big gap, that left-hand side or the right-hand side is going to be empty. It's going to be empty, right? And then it go with Romans. Romans, we know when he's up the park, he doesn't come up as much, but he'll come up the park. As soon as there's the gap, get the ball, fire. They don't hesitate, mate, when they're pinging the boys forward. They know exactly where the gaps are. Come off the centre forward. The centre forward, come off of Fernandes. Bring him out of defence. And the big clown Foley's him out like a donkey. You know what I mean? The guy gets it. He's not even right up against the guy. The guy gets it and is able to pass it anyway, left, right, back the way, or even turn. And that's what you're getting, mate. Every team sees it. Every team have been playing like this for nearly a year now. And then nothing's changed. Again, I watched that on Friday night. I mean, absolutely nothing's changed for last season. Nothing. Not any quality has been put into the team. No any change of tactics has been put into the team. In fact, I would say it was even worse than last year. And I'm looking at it and saying, how did we manage to get in this situation now? And everybody's under this impression, the quality to come, the quality is yet to come. What are you talking about? Whoever comes in, it's all going to be put on them. You know what I mean? What are we talking about here, mate? It's mad. It's these players that are playing on Friday night should be winning that game. But they didn't even come close to winning the game.
A big part of that team on Friday night is your first team squad, mate. You know, let's be
exactly.
honest.
Exactly. But still, they should go out there and put a performance on.
Is your first team squad. Look, you're right about performance. If Sharmiti passes that ball to Shanklin flicks it to Curtis finishes it. We've got Southside saying to me and you, and we'll have to eat humble. There you go, young Curtis. Or if Shanklin busts the net, we've got AK saying to you, there you go, Shanklin scores the winner. We'd have to have another slice of humble pie. Because Shanklin, the mood's different. You've won the game, you're saying difficult away game. Yeah, but it's all about results, mate. It's not about performance. It's all about results. And at that moment, And the same
Yep.
thing, we got out of jail. Let's be really honest here. The boy missed a sitter, and what he tried to do was, if you're the other team, you're no happy. If he tries to drill it and the goalie makes a good save, or he screws it past the post, but what he tried to do was just, that was crazy football, wasn't it? So we actually got out of jail, mate.
Well, we should have lost the game. Let's be honest about it. They should have lost the game. That's the truth about it. And we got away with it. I remember the Motherwell game was the same. No, I mean, we were 1-1, nothing. We went one each, and we all said after that, well, no, it was all, but everybody, a lot was saying that could prove to be a vital point and all that. Little did we know what was in store for us. And if we say the same about this result, you're kidding yourselves on. It's a case, it's a bad result. And it could be devastating in the long term, in the long run, if you don't sort this out. And I don't see us sorting it out anytime soon, because you're looking at these players, and I don't see the quality of the players that are on the park. I don't see it, man. And you're looking at, I'll give the boy McCory. He comes onto the park, right? And you're saying, right, oh, here we go. I just decide my juices when I see him coming on the park. Oh, here we go. Mere mediocrity. Because I said I wanted to see him this season, to see what he's learnt when he's away for Rangers. Truth be told, his quality is not any up the way, put it that way. Anyway, he gets the ball a couple of times. He starts charging up that wing. No, he starts charging up that wing a couple of times, and then he stops. The guy's going to catch him. He's getting outran, so he stops and cuts back and passes the ball back. And I went, oh, that's wonderful. That's great. That's really good. But every team players are in the same position. They just keep going, battering up that wing, and we're struggling to defend against it. But see, we get the ball and go, teams are not struggling to defend it against us. Why? Because the players were buying in, can't run. You're going, you should be tearing up that wing. That guy's gave you 2-3 yards there start. He should never get anywhere near you. But he's caught him near enough before he gets to the halfway line, or just the other side of the halfway line.
What I understand about that substitution there. We moved 2 players to accommodate an injury, mate.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Sterling's my first choice right back on Friday night. So we end up with our second choice right back and our second choice centre half, and we brought McCrory in as a utility player who's meant to be able to play both positions, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we altered 2 positions to cope with injury. By the way, I think it was a hamstring. I know people are saying he's out for a month and he's had a scan. I think you've seen it at a corner kick. I think he came and cleared the ball in the second half, mate. And I think you've seen him talking to, I think it was a goalkeeper. And you could tell that his hammy had went. Hopefully it's not went completely, mate, because that's not a month if it's went completely. Hopefully he's just tweaked it, mate, because if you've tore it and ripped it, it's 8 weeks minimum, isn't it?
Well, somebody, if I was Kavanagh or Gillespie, I'd be sitting in the office now demanding that a recruitment team come up into the office and sit them down and just say to them, what he's playing at. This guy's got a history of injuries, and we just ignore it. And we've got a history of buying players with a history of injuries. It's not that we don't know it. We keep doing this and we keep getting caught. Somebody needs to answer for that. You go there, the first game. Doesn't he make through the first game and he's half injured? We have a possibility he might be out for a month to 6 weeks. How is that? How do we let this happen? With a player, if it's a new player, he's never been injured, he gets a hamstring, you go, that's just unlucky, that's Neil Oxon. But the boys, a history of injuries. Madness, mate. Complete and utter madness.
Well, the trouble is,
club's fully
if it is September and it is the hammy and it is before the September international break, your 10 games will have disappeared, mate. Your 15% of your season's gone, yeah?
Exactly. It's madness, mate. But there you go. But nobody will be held to task for that. Nobody will be asked questions about that we'll ever find out anyway, even if they're asked. But I don't even think they're going to be asked. And it should be. People should be held accountable for this nonsense, mate. Absolute dreadful. Players that you're watching can't run. I can't get that, mate. I just can't get it. And see, by the way, if there's the players that are in the now, and even the players that have been here for not a great while now, because most of them are gone, but see if they want to know what they're up against. The first thing I would have done in training the day this morning is bring up the celebrations of that boy celebrating his goal for Dundee United. It's a fluke, but it's a goal. You can't take it away from the boy. It's a goal. It doesn't matter how it goes in, it goes in. It's a goal. Right? But watch his celebration, mate. And I'm not denying him his celebration. He's quite right to do it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he was up for it. He's pumped in the air. You can see the determination in his face, even at half time when he's walking off. I would bring that up and I would keep bringing it up and just say to them, if you are under any illusion of what you're up against, look at the commitment of that boy. Look at him. You need to match that and better that. And you're nowhere near it. That wee boy ran about there and caused them all sorts of hassle, just with sheer effort, mate. Just with commitment, just with desire to get in about it. He gets a fluky goal, but that's nothing. That's fair enough. That's football. That happens in football. The goalkeeper's unlucky. Big centre-half gets the run, but there's plenty of others in there that should have stopped that ball going across, or even before it gets to the guy. Most of them probably never got to the guy. But anyway, that's all here and there. Just the celebrations. I'm saying to him, this is what you're up against. And if you're under any illusion, just look at that's the start of it. There's plenty like that. And if you can't match that, I don't mean celebration. I'm talking about the determination and the will to win on that part. You better just get your agent to get you out of here now, because you're not going to be any good to us. And I don't see any of our players got that passion, mate.
Well, I'll tell you, I think we need 2 centre-halves, mate. Minimum 2 centre-halves, and we need 2 wide men pronto, mate. We need them pronto, mate.
Yeah, well, we need them for it. Well, we need them for the last year, mate. But anyway, we'll go to the last day of the window.
Yeah, I get that you've got to watch what you do and budgets and wages and all that. I get that. And so far, we've brought in players and we've got wages after books, but we need them, and it's so obvious, mate. Now, there could have been 3 or 4 deals for so far down the road and they fail, and then you have to start again. I get all that. I know how complicated the transfer market would be, and I know how I was part of a conversation at the weekend. I don't know if you've seen me. I posted it somewhere, mate, just to let people know about how complicated transfers are. Yeah, and what we're up against and where we're sitting and where we're shopping, mate. This was a guy going for Premier League to a team that's in the Championship, and the contract was so complicated and so lucrative, mate. Where the Scottish football's nowhere near it, mate. Nowhere near it.
No. I never seen the conversation. So
no, if you
really
look, I posted it. Right. Maybe if they'd all stop posting rubbish, mate, and talk to each other instead of letting all in the world know their conversations. But I'm sure I'll sort that out sooner or later. Yeah. Yeah. But,
do you know what I mean? It is complicated, understand. But there's other teams doing it, mate. There's other teams bringing players in. Other players making it. The right players. But again, I'll hark back to this player. What is your player profile? What is this profile they keep going on about now? I don't get what they're talking about now. Kavanagh came out last season, at the end of last season, and turned around and says, well, there's 2 players coming up and they're of equivalent standard. We'll go for the Scottish guy. It was one Scottish. And I'm saying to myself, well, what are we talking about? There isn't a player in Scotland of Scottish that is any good to play for Rangers. Now the way it might have been. I'll give him an exception. But in Scotland, you're going, no, they're all mediocre to me. What are we talking about? I don't think they understand the standard we need to get to, mate.
How many Scottish players were on that park on Friday night, mate?
So, well, McCorry came on, didn't he? Well, Shanklin. And then McCorry, wasn't it?
Aye. But both sides, mate. Very little. You know?
Because the standard in Scotland's crap. That's how.
But if there's somebody out there and somebody thinks, listen, I've said it a lot on the show over the years, mate. If you can and you get somebody who understands and there is, but if they're going to be good enough, you know, it's got to be good enough. And it's got to be the right deal for the club. It can't be held to ransom. Also, you have to have the components to walk away.
We'll go with Curtis. He come on a 3.
Aye, 3. And Curtis obviously wasn't involved that much, but he still turned into the boy. He lost the ball in the wing, and that's where their chance came about for the winner.
I know it's again mediocrity. It's rife
The
right
boy,
through
the
the
boy
team.
has to play. If the boy's just going to get the cameos, and for a season, mate, his career. I don't want to wish him on him, but you have to go and play and develop, and then come back better. Your aim is to be better all the time. That if he's going to just get the cameos every now and then, mate, and maybe the odd game in the League Cup tie or whatever, if the draw's favourable, mate, or whatever, and get maybe minutes if we're winning at half time, you maybe get longer because you will maybe put the game to bed. But the boy has to play if he's going to develop, you know, because I want him to succeed. I don't want him to succeed, but what I see at the moment, he doesn't look ready to play in the Rangers first team. He's not alone, mate, based on Friday night's performance, you know. It's not the
right,
worst
right.
I've ever seen, mate.
No,
It was so frustrating, mate. It was so frustrating.
The rest of aren't bad, by the way, Fitzroy. His standard doesn't need to be much better than it already is to be better than some of the clowns that are on that park at the moment. Gasman, that's shocking, that boy. Absolutely shocking. But again, we're asking him to do something that's no natural to him, mate. Tracking back and all this guy. It's no natural to him. We keep buying players and then try to turn them into something. It's mad. It's mad. It doesn't work, mate. You'll get Nadiri, we want him to be a bit of a target man, never a target man in his life.
I never seen that on Friday night, mate. I seen him playing there on the right hand side, which I couldn't understand.
All he did, Ox, was try to challenge the centre halves in the air. That's what he did. And I don't think he ever won one.
No, he never flicked one.
That's all he done, mate. And we kept hitting the ball up to him. Now, one of the things they need to understand, see if you're playing a guy up front who isn't a target man, and you're going to give him the ball the way they were getting on, just high, mate. No up in the air. There's no point in hitting the air because these centre halves are just going to gobble that up all day. It's meat and drink to them, mate. But if you remember wee Joe Harper when he played with Aberdeen, right? He's one of the most deadly strikers in there. But one of the things he was great at, mate, was taking the ball with his back to goal anywhere on the park because they gave him at the right height. They gave him at his height, chest height, which was the chest height of the centre forward, the centre half, sorry, and he was brilliant. Gerhard Müller of Germany, you remember him? Same thing with him. He used to demand them. No bother batting big high balls into me. Just stay good to me. You fire at my height and I can do a lot of damage. But if you fire it up in the air, centre halves are just, no bother, I can do this. And that's what happened there. Big Naderi should have said to them, I'm no a target man got him winning that ball at the time. But if you get it to my chest, I've got a better chance of doing turning left, right, passing it back, holding it up, bringing people in, whatever.
Listen, mate, if you're putting the ball up the pitch and you can put it to target 70 yards away from the goal, mate, and you can drop into somebody's chest consistently, you should be playing in the World Cup final, not at Tannadice.
It's not that difficult, mate. It's not that difficult.
Go and try and hit the cross. Go and try and hit the crossbar for the halfway line. See how often you do it.
Oh, I do it all the time, mate. Used to do it all the time. No bother. You don't have to be that accurate, mate. It's different. He can cover, he can run, he's got two legs, he can move left and right, he can move. Aye. You don't have to get it straight to him. But at his height, go to come in at his height. Anyway, by the way, I used to say that years ago. See, like say we were putting boys up the park or crossing boys. I'm saying, why don't we aim for the centre halves, the opposition centre half? Because we keep seeming to hit them. We can't hit what we're aiming at. So we may as well aim at the centre half, and it might go to a Rangers player then. That's how stupid that is, isn't it?
Well, when I passed it, mate, I always made sure the mitre was the right side up. You know what I mean?
Aye. One time it was the laces. Make sure the laces.
Mitre had to be just to help the boys out so they could read it. You know.
So they get something to get the eye on.
Aye. You know, but well, I thought Nadiri was playing on the right. I get what you're saying. He's coming in and challenging the centre halves, but for me, out of possession, he was playing in that. He was playing on the right, and Gasman was playing on the left to support Asgard, who was in front of. Arguably, Diamandi was trying to get involved as well, but as you said, his decision making was poor, mate.
Well, there's a question. There's a question for you before you. Mm-hmm. What was the formation we played? What was it?
It was a 4-2-3-1 to me. Yeah, and it was the back four with the three being Asgard on the point in front of Diamandi and Devlin, and arguably that Devlin sat and let Diamandi get more involved. So you could say it was a 4-1 at times, but most of the time it looked like a 4-2-3-1 to me, and then Shanklin right up top.
No, well, I was going to ask you what the three to me would have been Shanklin in the centre and Gassman on the left and Asgard on the right.
No,
with Nadiri up front.
Asgard wasn't in the right net.
Just what Shanklin wasn't up front.
But that was a point.
Nadiri was further forward than him. That's what I'm saying. What was it? I couldn't figure it out myself. I'm going, how are we playing? Who's playing where here?
And in possession, the two white men were meant to come back. Asgard meant to come back, and it became, or whoever, or Shanklin was meant to. But the problem is, if Shanklin does go, I think when you get a breakaway, he's not pace, mate. And you're going to see that Ibrox when you watch him play for us, mate. It's a different game, and you're going to have to get the ball. Your team are going to have the ball in the box to see the best suit of Lawrence, or will not be fair on the ball.
I agree with that, mate. I agree with that. But I don't think most of the players on that team get the brains for it. But there you go. That's just my opinion on them. A lot of work needs to be done. That's what you hear. A lot of work needs to be done. Okay, if it's just hard work, then it needs to be done. Well, let me a shout. But I think it's more than that. I think it's just forget about the quality we're talking about coming in. I just think the quality we've actually got is bad. And I heard the day somebody talking on one of the podcasts that we've got 11 central midfielders and 11 central midfielders. That is bonkers, mate. What are they doing? What is happening in there? I keep saying every time we sign a midfielder, it's a defensive midfield, a defensive. You're going, do we not get any other thing but defensive midfielders? 11 central midfielders. What that one out?
I seen that Deary scored 3 goals in a friendly today, 45 minutes against the Partick Thistle with 1-6-2. I read that earlier on, mate. I get it, you've got your training games at this time of the season, you get your fitness up here. He played 45 minutes because he's only played 45 at the weekend. And Friday night, you have to keep topping up the fitness. It's what happens at this time of the season. But it means nothing, mate. It means nothing what you do in bounce games. It means nothing what you do Friday night. When you were in the boys' brigade, it was a big finale all, but it didn't matter what you done in the dress rehearsal, did it? It mattered what you done on the night, mate, yeah?
Exactly, mate. It's all about performance, mate. It's all about turning up on the night.
You know?
Right, we'll put it to say sorry, mate.
On you go. I'll put it out there to the listeners. Have we been too harsh? Are we realistic? Or have we been fair? We're critiquing what we watched on Friday night, what we always do, yeah? We're not saying it's doom and gloom and Romans will be a bad player. Fernandes might be time to get rid of him. But all we're saying was Romans was terrible on Friday night and Fernandes, once again, was a bomb scare. And that's the 6th league game in a straw, in my opinion, mate.
So, hard to argue. I like the boy. I think there's a player in the boy, but when he done the drag back out on the forward wing for the dugout, he done the drag back and they dragged it right out the park. You could see McInnes was not a happy chappy at all. I went, I wouldn't like to be your shoes when you get in that dressing room, mate. I says, because he's going to tear bits off you, and rightly so. I mean, what you doing at that level? Even Devlin was roaring at me, saying, "What are you doing at this? Like, you don't get away with that. If your aspirations to go in and play in the big leagues, top leagues in the European football and all that, Champions League and all that, you're not going to do it playing like that. He forgets he needs to do. You need to do the basics perfect. Perfect, mate. And then you can do your wee showboating every now and again when the opportunity arises and it's the right time to do it. You can do all that. But you've got to do the basics, mate. And he doesn't do the basics right. This can caught out of position, dragging himself out of position and no winning the ball.
Is he a left
See if he wins that ball.
Off, mate? Is he a left side?
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. But yeah, again, the first guy we bring in is a right-sided centre half. I'm saying once Suter and that was going, I'm saying, right, just move him across. He is your right-sided man. Now you need a left side. No, what's the first one we buy? Another right-sided one. madness. I don't know what they're thinking about up in that recruitment. I really don't get it, mate. I just don't. I know it's difficult to get people in, but they're making it look nigh impossible, mate. They're making it look it's that difficult that no other team goes through what we go through. Hundreds of teams, hundreds of thousands of teams get into the transfer business. They transfers, thousands of transfers, mate. But we seem to be the ones that get all difficult and all tied up in knots for some mental reason.
Yeah, when we come back after the tune, mate, I'm going to get you to name all these midfielders.
Aye, okay. I don't know
All
who they
right.
are, but I'll have a go at it.
You know, but I listen. I'm not putting the defeat down to Romans and Fernandez, but listen, it was a poor team effort, mate.
Aye.
You know, and you just get the feeling with Fernandez with the way he plays the game, because he does play the game like you've mentioned about dragbacks and all that. But the problem is, mate, when you do make mistakes, 1 minute you've got the ball, you're going forward, and because he makes a mistake, you're defending, or teams are running through your goal, and you're giving away chances. And all right, you might recover, you might clear it, but he does put the team under pressure constantly, in my opinion. Yeah, he does some really good things, and you might maybe do a shimmy at the edge of the box. I'll put it to you this way: he ain't no magic big error, mate.
No. Nowhere near it, mate. Absolutely zero. Not a chance, mate. But that's the way he wants to play his football. At the end of the day, he'll live and die by it. And McInnes comes across to me as the type of guy, if you want to play that way and you carry on playing that way, and we're no winning games, you're going to find your sword, son. You're off. You're definitely off. At the end of the day, the lot of them need to look in the mirror and say, we didn't win the game. And just keep on saying it, we didn't win the game. Forget about all the criticism we're getting, and forget all the criticism that's out there. Forget what they think they done. They didn't win the game. And they need to get it into their heads. You need to win the games. It's nothing to do with anything else but winning games. And you didn't do it. For me, you definitely should look in the mirror and say, I could have played the pass that could have won that game. Shankland stood in his arms, looking up, and he just kept staring. He couldn't even look up and look at the guy in the face because he knows, mate. He's selfish, greedy, not a team player. He can't be like that. None of them can be like that. None of them are good enough to be an individual player. Put it that way. Not that you want individual players playing for themselves, but none of them are good enough to do it. But they all think they are. So not them all, but some of them think they are. Asgard as well. Asgard, his goal was superb, mate. Absolutely superb. Right? But he never done anything really great in the game apart from that goal, which he thinks, and I don't do social media, but I heard in his social media he says, play well, the team wasn't good, we didn't want to win, but at least I scored. Well, what kind of talk's that? What kind of talk is that? But he done the overhead kick now. Again, no team player. I say, what are you doing? This is all for you. This is nothing to do with the boot's the best thing for the team in this position. You're just thinking, I'm going to try this. You sit there, you can see Shankland looking at him to say, all right, son, I can see who you're playing for, but you're definitely not playing for us. You're not playing for the team, you're playing for you. I think Shankland and I think Devlin count for Hearts, and I think they're going to be good team players. But the rest of them, you need to start looking at. You really seriously need to start looking at and questioning what they're all about. And this is what I said about McInnes. That's one of his big pluses, mate. Building a team, bonding a team. But he's got his work cut out with this lot, I'm telling you. We collapsed last season, and that might be part of it. No playing as a team, mate. Just no digging in. You see your mate in trouble, you need to dig in, you need to try that harder. Your mate's in trouble, you need to dig in and help him. I just see them standing back and going, oh, well, you're not playing well, but at least I'm playing well. That's the sort of Asgard attitude. It's not. I would have preferred, if I had come out in that history, I'd have went like that. I scored, but I'd rather wouldn't have scored and we win the game. That's what you should be saying, mate. It's all about the team.
Right, because it's a team game, mate. It's a team game. Mm-hmm.
Teams win leagues, no individuals.
No. Listen, I thought Asgard was our best player, but it wasn't a high bar on Friday night. It wasn't a high bar, no.
Aye. His goal was superb, mate. Let's be honest, it was quality goal. It really was quality. His first touch was excellent, and his beautiful strike. Oh, a beautiful strike, mate! Absolute beautiful strike. Now that's the quality we're looking for, all over the park in each individual position. Saying right, you need to have this quality in your game and your attitude. His attitude is still to be proven, right enough. But he come back early for his holiday, so that showed a willingness, which is nice to see. Nice to see. So, but as I say, McInnes has got his work cut out. It really has to get this into a team. It shouldn't be like this, but this is what we're up against.
Yeah, I know. Some of the, as I said, some of the bits of the team I thought were going to be all right. Didn't function. And Friday, we knew that we need left and right. We need creativity in our team, and we've not got it at the moment. Gassama, he showed he's got ability again. He made the run inside. He's jinged by the two of them, and then his decision making at the end of the box where he tried to do it was his good fit, mate. He should have took just another touch just to move it that 2 years forward. Then it was ready because they'd backed off. You know, he took it too early, and it was all rang. Everything was rang, going it rang. And I don't know if also with this, he's always going to come inside, and obviously you need Romans to run outside him. You know, that's what you're trying to do all the time. And when it works, it's okay. But if it doesn't work, or you get caught out, our whole team's rang forward, and then there's a gap, and then that's where the defence doesn't seem to be switched on, that we don't have the covering. But Rye Jack done for Tab for a while, yeah, and done for Borna, you know, him and Kamara covered in for him because they seen, right, we have to work, we cover, they play, as you mentioned, you play as a team. When we lost the ball on the right hand side of the park, when young Curtis lost it near the end and they broke through, look what happened. They played it in the left hand side of the channel. They fall back, they set it off with nobody there and the boys running through and goal. Nothing really happened, mate. Apart from the boy playing the ball up the wing, and the guy, it was a decent ball across to the guy because he fun him, but he was playing it in his space, mate. We had nobody there.
But if you look at Fernandes, mate, when the guy's playing, he breaks, Curtis tried to tackle, a weak tackle, the guy got the ball. He won the tackle, but the guy got the ball and carried on. And then the boy plays that pass. But if you look at Fernandes, he's starting to come across, mate. And I'm looking, going, no, during it, after the game, you look back, I'm looking at it and going, why did you actually come across them? Why are you not standing another? So you're blocking the pass to that boy. You should be standing far enough out of that side to block that pass if a pass is going to be made. Now, if you do that then the guy who made the pass has to carry on with the ball. Now, you jokey. This is experience, mate. This is what he's no got. You jokey in your position to see what this guy with the ball is going to do. If he gets by the Rangers players, you sprint over then to take him out. Right? You say, you're not getting by me, you're not getting a pass by me. You either, if you don't win the tackle, you take him out the play. That's the dark arts again. And you make sure that ball never gets put across to that side of the park. Instead of that, he runs across early doors and opens the space up for the boy to play the pass. It's stupidity and madness, mate. And I bet that's what McInnes is going to coach him now this week. You need to wake up, son. You need to start reading the game properly. You're a defender. I don't know, you're wanting to be a hero all the time. You've got to do... Bobby Moore would have never ran over, for an example. Davy Weir wouldn't have ran over there, for an example. They'd have jockeyed it and went, I'm covering two positions. I'm going to get myself in a position that you can't make the pass, and I'm also going to get in the same position that I can get to you if you get by the players. That's a quality defender, does that, mate?
All right. It's just you've got to read the game. And with his pace and his height and the power that comes with that height and pace, mate, you shouldn't be in trouble a lot. But you've then got to decide when you move the ball on and when you play the ball. And it puts us in trouble continuously. I'm going to say the last 6 league games, mate. And there's an issue, in my opinion. No blaming him that we never scored 2 goals during the week, because we should have scored 2 goals away at Tannadice. We should score better than 1 goal. But with lack of creativity, left and right was a bigger issue than Fernandes. But he put us in trouble, and he didn't play well again, mate. And the way we play and they go forward, they're part of the team, mate. I'm moving out of the midfield and passing. And this straight pass we play, mate, constantly, we're just getting the ball too calfus. And we have to get it out of our thoughts, mate, because we just put ourselves into trouble, mate. The centre halves, it seems to be a trend that's took hold. I don't know if it's this modern trend to try and play this slide rule pass when people are surrounded with people and you're looking at them You see your mates around you and you say, oh, I'll pass it to him. Why?
The opposition are sitting waiting for you to do it as well. It's not like you're going to catch them. They're sitting waiting for you to do it. And we do it, and you're right, they cut it out. No, every time, most of the time, they cut it out. And that's them straight in your back four, straight at you. I don't get that. I don't get this football. It doesn't make any sense to me anyway. I never will. That's for the wee guys, man. Yeah, he plays better, mate, when there's no responsibility on his shoulders, mate. If you give him a role to play with instructions, he's hopeless. He's one of the players that he's got to play in the periphery of the game, and nobody's expecting that much of him, and he has a blinder. But if you put a wee bit of responsibility on him, nah, he can't do it. He's not interested. He's just typical winger, mate. When it comes to form, it's typical. They blow hot and cold. You never know. But he, in particular, doesn't like responsibility. He just likes to be on the periphery of the game, and then he'll have a good game. Notice that with him. And he can be devastating at times, mate. He can be a good player. But it's again another one.
He's definitely got. Let's be honest. He showed more than say Ant-Man did in his period with us. But if you take August out, sort of July, August last year with a wee fella in the left, and you take away his assists and his goals, yeah, from September onwards, mate, it ain't great, mate.
No, he's got the heart of a chicken, mate. That's his problem. He's got a heart of a chicken.
Yeah. Well, maybe you get recruitment, mate. You bring in somebody you think's not up for physicality, and you want to play him in Scottish football, but you're going to Tannadice, Aberdeen, Easter Road, Tynecastle. You play at their place, away at St Mirren. A lot of tight parts, mate. Yeah. People right on top of you. There's not a lot of space for wingers. Yeah, you're not playing all your games at Ibrox, mate. Eh?
No. Even at Ibrox, we play bad, mate. Let's be honest.
It's not been great. Then listen, look, tomorrow night at the start of the show, we'll get David Hare join us, and he's going to be talking about the nearly men, 66 to 69, the great Rangers players who maybe never got the success that we deserved. And he's wrote a book concerning that era, and he's going to come on the show. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow night for the first part of the show. It'd be good to get away for Friday night, and Thursday can't come quick enough. Just remember, everybody, it's a 5 o'clock kick-off on Thursday. But so David's coming on, David Hare, and it'll be great to hear from him. Fair play to him. He's wrote several Rangers books now, and I doff my hat. I doff my hat to anybody who takes the time and has the skill to write about it. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm dead minus now, and I've got your chapter, and I'm struggling, mate. I'm struggling.
I am struggling. I'm struggling to write my name. Write a book.
The memory of Albert. Remember it came to me, but I remembered for you. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, aye.
But we can't tell that story on the show, innit?
No, we keep quiet about that. It's funny, isn't it? How your paths cross, but you've never realised.
Yes,
it's weird. It's weird.
Very really. So David Hare's coming on tomorrow night. Albert, right down your street, mate. You'll be talking about obviously John Gregg and Colin Stein and Willie Johnston. They'll be part of that era. Dave Smith, one of Fox's heroes, yeah. And loads, and Sandy Jardine with a committed the team as a young boy then. Loads and loads of guys who were, top quality players. But we just never got it right for that period. They got to semi-final of one European competition, final of another, and just never quite made it. No.
Aye. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And 68 to 69, you're saying? 66
to 69, yeah.
60, 69. Aye, it was unfortunate, mate. It really was unfortunate. But there you go.
We'll hear David tomorrow. Look, we want your thoughts. Or does anybody think we've been OTT? Does anybody think we've been fair? Does anybody think we've not been harsh enough? I know it's only one game. It's not the end of the world. We all know that, but we're only critiquing, me and Albert, what we watched on Friday night, in our opinion. Everybody sees it different, of course. Use a phone after the tune. Get yourself in mute, lads, because we're going to have a tune.
See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, for the jersey they would do or die. Fight, fight for right, play the game with the badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on their way to cheer the boys in blue. Follow they will, marching on to the songs of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on their way to cheer the boys in blue. Follow they will, marching on to the songs of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the Glasgow Rangers story.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I'm in it here for you. Here's your thoughts. Win, lose or draw, it's the Glasgow Rangers story. I get it, mate. I understand it. You know, and our record at the start of the season, mate, it ain't great, is it? It ain't great, mate.
No for years. No for years. It's what do you call it? It's the fear that other teams don't drop points. It's the fear that teams they go and we runs. All teams, not just us, or the other team, not just that mob across the city, and we just can't seem to get it right. We always said this. Even when I was growing up, man, we always slow starters. That was our famous for it. Slow starters but strong finishers. But now we're slow starters and crap finishers. It's not a good combination, mate. So definitely not a good combination. But there you go. It's it needs to be a resolution needs to come. We need to start to resolve it some way. You know what I mean? It needs to be. We need to start understanding what's happening. And
Listen,
McInnes must be pulling his hair out, mate. Honestly.
he's got a nice touch there, isn't he?
Oh aye. Enough to make us two. I said a nice head of hair. Yeah, let's be honest.
I said a nice touch, mate, not a great touch.
But you're trying to take some positives, and it's very difficult because
The
of
positive
people.
for me is the goalkeeper at the moment, mate, and you're right, because we'll see, you know, because the way he plays and he wants to get involved, and he's not trying to do outlandish things, but he's getting the ball, getting the edge of the box, and he's saying, right, where's the runners? Because obviously he's only been with us, he's in the door a couple of weeks now. So obviously in training they've been doing stuff where he gets the ball, gets to the box quick, and there's meant to be options, and he's what's happened here. So then that's down to that work rate, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, because they're obviously trying to. It was always to me at the start of the game they'd planned to get the ball up the park quick and early, and no problem with that, mate. Because if you get the ball up to the last third, mate, you've more chance of scoring, less chance of losing a goal. Simple. Do I want to watch punts up the park all night? No, I don't. But when I say get it early, it doesn't mean you have to get it always for a punt. You can move it for. Fernandez can go to Romans, who slides it down to Gasserman. The next thing you're running at their full back at the edge of the box. What's wrong with that? That's football. Doesn't always need to be a point, but you have to be able to do both. So we started like that, and then all of a sudden the wheels just come off as they get a foothold in the game. Now, our goalie never really had a save to make, part of that one at the end, but neither did theirs really, mate, did he? Apart for the one for the Asgard shot, which was a right good save, wasn't it?
That was a good save, mate. Definitely a good save. But you're right. Our keeper had nothing to do, really. Nothing to do. And we're saying the defence played bad, but they did play bad. No, I mean it's not that they never did. They never had many shots. It's a case of they weren't good enough to exploit the mistakes that we were making, and there were glaring mistakes we were making. That's the real concern for everybody going forward. Just sitting going, you're not going to get away with this with good teams. I mean, I don't like this team as on Thursday night, but if they're any quality at all, we're going to have to be a lot better. The keeper is going to be busy. I can see him going to be busy, and I don't know anything about this team, but for reports that you're reading and listening to other people talking about them, they're a decent team. They get a decent position in the league. I think it was third or something. They finished the league in. So they've got to be a half decent team, mate. And I think us playing like that on Friday night, we're going to really struggle, mate. Absolutely going to really struggle. But again, it's Europe, isn't it? We do strange things in Europe. Not so much last year, but we definitely can do strange things. And let's hope it's one of the times. But as you say, quality's not there on the front line. It's just not there.
Aye, well, we seem to have the centre forward position sorted, but we don't seem to have the two wide position sorted to use that creativity. And let's try to put shoehorn people in there in the dairy. We watched who else? We watched Diamandi getting put out there. Yeah, I don't think
that's a good point, mate.
Aye,
but in the dairy, you're talking the dairy. Then why was Chermiti not playing? If he's got a knock and he's no fit to play the full 90 minutes, right? That's fine. But we need a goal. And they bring him on anyway. The guy you bring on if you need a goal is Bielski. So why did they not bring him on? He's the one that would have got you the goal. If he gets in the same position as Chermiti, I'm not saying he would have, but if he gets in it, he's cutting it back to Shanklin. There's no doubt about it. He'll cut it back to Shanklin because he's got a football player. And I think Shanklin and him will pair up very nicely, mate. Out the four of them, I think that's the pair.
I don't know, mate, because you've hardly seen Majowski, mate.
But you know he is. You know what kind of player he is. It's just not showed it for us.
What does that tell you?
I know people do. I know they don't fancy him, but you're talking about he's playing as we're playing him up there himself. He's not that type of player. But if you put him next to a football player, I think he's going to be. He'll shine. I do think he'll shine.
If we're going to play on that,
all I know is Chermiti and Chermiti especially, but Nadiri as well. They all need to know there's somebody there that can take their position after them if they're not watch their feet in the lobby gas. At the moment, there's players in there. Roman's been one, Chermiti, Fernandez. That we're safe. Nobody there to take your positions. We can just get on with this. They need to put under pressure, mate, for people challenging for their positions. That's one of the things that needs to happen. Sorry, you're going to say something?
No, but I mean, look, if we're going to play with the two up top, mate, at times you're going to have to go to the 3-5-2, mate. Or we've not got the personnel to go the 4-4-2 because unless you go with a 4-3 sort of 1-2, mate, where the guy somebody's got a real license to roam. And you're still got the three midfielders across the park. Because if we keep going with this too, mate, you can see at times even as poor as the D United were, because they were, at times you picked it in Devlin, and when Diamandi makes 8 straight runs and Devlin's left himself, Asgard's gone forward, which is good. That's what you want them if they create. But when the other team spring on you, mate, you have nothing in midfield. Nothing in midfield. And whether you like it or not, as you get into the big games, the nitty-gritty games, you need to usually win the midfield battle to win the game. I'm not talking about maybe a game that you'll win 3-0 at Ibrox and your midfield doesn't function brilliantly because of the opposition. Maybe you can see them off, but the way we're playing at the moment, mate, let's be really honest. That's 3 live games we've seen. To forget about the bounce games, 2 games in 1 game, mate. We ain't scored a goal for our forward line. For our forward line, we open play, mate.
Yep. Aye, well, it's up 4-2-3-1 system, mate. I just do not like. I think it's. I'm just going to swear there. I think it's crap, mate. Really, honestly, I think that's one of our big problems. You never look like scoring for that position, and that proves that you're just saying that we've not scored a goal for open play yet, and that's exactly what's happening, mate. That system does not work, mate. It just simply does not work, and variations of that formation doesn't work either. I just don't think it. I just don't think it threatens teams. I think it's easy to negate. It's easy to just close in, and it's easy to spring on. It just doesn't work.
So, have you got this list for me?
I've got 9.
Right,
Can't
go
think of
then.
the other 2. Barnes, Cifuentes, Devlin, Raskin, Dragic, Chukwana, Neil Mandy I'm putting in there, and Rice I'm putting there. So there's another 2 to get.
Do you think when he done the list, he might have had Barjami on it?
No, he's not central midfielder, is he?
Right.
No, I would say no. I wouldn't say no for him.
He-
But there must be another 2. There's definitely another 2, mate. Because the guy was saying 11. 11. It's not my list, by the way. Somebody else's list.
Who's him again then?
Barron, Cifuentes, Devlin, Raskin, Dragovic, Chokwane, Neil, Diamandi, and Rice.
Lyle Cameron. You see him?
Central midfielder, no. For Jamie, him, Asgard, I think it was something similar, know what I mean?
Where did he
I
play?
don't-
Aye. But the midfielders,
Exactly.
aren't
Well, aye, they're supposed to be, but if they're central midfielders, no. But the 3 of them, you could just say what is their positions, and most people get different ideas of where they play. That's just wrong as well. You're not going to certain players like them. You go, oh, he is for number 8. Oh, here is this number 6. It drives me insane. 6, 6, 6, 6. That's all over here. When you get a 6, when you get a 6 sorted out, you're going to get 11 central players, man. How can you get a 6 sorted out?
Should you know have one central left and right and the plays a unit, mate? Is that not how you win the
Aye.
midfield? Or maybe
That's what I thought.
maybe I'm
that's what I
old
thought.
fashioned, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we'll need to go back to 4-3-3, mate. I really do. I don't think there's any other choice. So you need to go back to 4-3-3. Because we're wasting our time with all this nonsense. It just doesn't work. We don't look dangerous. The most dangerous we ever look, isn't it? It's 4-3-3. And I'm not saying that's perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and we look solid as well in defence and in midfield, a bit more solid anyway than we do. Because I'm with you, mate. I just see us wide open all the time. Teams break on us, teams attacking us. We just seem to be mega space between us all. But
Aye.
I don't know.
The new manager, any criticism for him? Just the selection Friday night. I mean, I think most people sort of were shocked. I think most people had Chermiti in the team. Obviously, we don't know about the sports science or a knock or whatever, But when you bring him on at half time, it suggests that he's fit, mate.
Aye, definitely. Well, I don't know. I mean, that was a curveball. Nobody's seen that one coming. Nobody starting that game. Nobody seen that coming. Maybe starting with somebody, but I didn't see him starting that game, especially in a position I thought he was playing as the furthest forward. I didn't see it. I didn't see that at all. The one with Diamondi, you've got to start asking questions about Diamondi. He might come out and say he's the one that's showing up the best in training. He's the one that's showing me the commitment, blah, blah, blah. He might come out with that. But see, people say he confuses the opposition. He doesn't. He confuses his own teammates. He confuses everybody, and that he's not supposed to be confusing.
And he can't pass the ball, mate. Anyway,
He can't pass the ball.
We've been joined by old Davy. Evening, David.
Hey, Ox, how you doing? All right, Albert?
Good, pal. How are you?
Okay, I just think we're all jumping the gun a wee bit here because I think the expectations, everybody was expecting this, that and the next thing, and it's just, it is what it is at the moment, and I think it's things will need, you got to give things time to settle down. McInnes needs to look at that anyway. If he can't see what we're looking at, then we've got a problem. And one of the things that concerns me of that game was, when we're talking about our players, Dundee United had about 4 or 5 free transfers in that team. And they were playing like a team. Now, we've not got that many different players came in there in that one team. And I felt we were just disjointed, really disjointed compared to Dundee United. They were up for the game, but their players, well, they were up to a point. But it was a flat performance for me anyway, guys.
But we're not saying that, you know, where we are and when everything's abysmal, Davey. What we're talking about is Friday night's performance, and it's hard to turn around and say that we functioned well as a team, because we didn't.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with you there, folks. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I think we're all just jumping on this, and it's only natural that we're going to think like this. We're all back to, oh, here we go again. How many years is that? And then we're getting, oh, that's 4 years of no won our first league game. Well, that's just statistics. That's just stats. We've got to move on and just see what happens on Thursday.
I tell you what stats important, Davey. That's one game gone and we're 2 points behind somebody, anybody. We're chasing.
Well, that's just what it is. So we've just got to put our ideas up.
That's the problem, mate. And then pressure grows. If you go there and you win 2-1 and we put in the exact same performance all there and we beat the Hibs on Sunday, mate. We might not play well after a European tie, but we happen to win both halves 1-0. We won 2-0. Things are different. That's the point we're making all better.
That's it. It's the victories, everything. You've got to get the victories. We can't give everybody a head start on as we did the way we done last season. And that's what's the frustrating thing about it. That for me, that's the biggest disappointment for Friday night. I wasn't having great expectations of brilliant football because I was underwhelmed with the signings. They're not impressed me. Before I even seen them playing, I'm sitting going, no, it just keeps the signing central midfielders, and it didn't. Shanklin free agent, Devlin free agent, Neil free agent. I mean, all these, you're sitting looking, I'm going like, well, fair enough. I'm not saying they're bad players, but they don't settle ahead of them, like for me. So I wasn't expecting that on Friday night. What I was expecting and hoping for and wanting and telling you it was going to be difficult and no impossible was a victory. And we didn't even come close to getting the victory. We didn't even look if we were going to win that game. And if we did win the game with that late chance, or it should have been a late chance for Chernotti squares it into Shanklin or Curtis, and we do get the victory, you take it and accept it, but you're realistic to say, well, we probably didn't deserve it, but I'm glad we got it. As I said, I wanted the victory. I don't care how we get it. Don't care how we play, get the victory. And we didn't. And that's where the big disappointment comes, David. That's the real frustration for me.
Yeah, I know, Albert, but I'm trying to be a wee bit optimistic. You know, everybody's been pessimistic. You can't look at it like
that. Maybe they've been realistic, Davey.
But we all know that, Ox. We all know that. But you've got they can't just turn around and. I mean, that guy took the D United, got 4 free transfers, and they were all over us at a point.
6,
6, well, there you go. But that tells you everything, doesn't it? No, that shouldn't happen. He shouldn't be
10 in
sorry.
total. 10 in total, and 6 were playing.
I bet
Yeah.
none of them are on 4-year contracts worth millions of pounds, mate.
Yeah, you're right, Ox, but that's the thing that annoys me more than if we were lucky to come away with that point there. I mean, the boy went right through to death. I just shut my eyes and went, oh, here we go again.
Aye. You know, and you know how your window cleaner feels now. So
oh, here we go. I'm not belonging to my birthday. Come on, bring it on.
I'm waiting for the January sales before I buy your present this year, mate.
Nah, you've got to look on the bright side, guys. I know it's hard at the moment, but
the bright side is we could have been sitting with 8 points. That's the positive.
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain here. You know, all right, we're talking about though winning it, fair dues, but we could have lost it. That'd have been worse.
Aye, of course.
We've got to turn up on Thursday, see what kind of team we put out there, see what kind of performance we get there, and then we take it from there, and then we deal with it, and then we go in there and take on the Hibs and do rain. That's the way you've got to look at it.
I hope he's right. I hope you're right. Anyway, we've also been joined by Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Evening, Knox. Evening, chaps.
Hey, Smurf.
How we
All
doing,
right.
mate?
I'm no bad. Observations, I've not been going over the top with the appointment of Derek McInnes. I think it's a sort of steady appointment, but with the difference in budgets, etc., you maybe think, well, you have a different approach. But when you look at the teams he's managed, even Hearts last year, they were always workman-like teams, you know, teams that were well organised, hard to beat, etc., etc. And never a lot of flair in them. I don't think there was it anyway. And I just feel that I see Albert there saying, you know, that they're going over the top or whatever. I don't think we are. I don't think the squad's in very good shape. We've lost a lot of dead wood, and rightly so. But when I look at the right back situation, you know, you've got Sterling there, who sees himself as a right back. I know you share the belief in the same as that I do, that his best form for Rangers was in midfield.
Still is, mate. Still is.
And I don't see, I see the right back position as a problem. We've got our best asset in midfield that we're trying to get out the door, by all accounts, maybe to fund you know, more transfers. And it looks like he did at his last club, maybe he's not going to go. I don't know, I've not heard anything, but he's been included in the European squad.
Well, he's got to be the moment, because if nobody's come in for him or nothing's happened, mate, or he's not moved, you've got to.
Of course.
Him in your squad. Aye.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
But does he depreciate as a sellable asset there because he's maybe can't play in Europe? And then on top of that, you know, other club waiting to see if we get through the qualifiers before they'll release funds. There's that side of it. Everybody was going to get after that. He'd about Fernandes, or we'll get X amount from him. And the guy's just, I mean, you see the way he was trotting back yesterday. I was saying, he should have been subbed off. The signing of Ben Godfrey. And look, I think he's a tidy enough player, but that's him out for 4 weeks. And if you look at his injury history, it's horrendous. So I have a question of wisdom of signing him. And of course, you know, Cammy Devlin's a busy wee player, but these guys are only difference makers. Rangers should be for Rangers to be operating at a level that is going to see them win that league. These guys are players who are jersey fillers in the wider squad. There are no teams that I don't believe are going to try to get a title. We need difference makers, and all over the pitch, we just need better quality.
We need minimum 2 centre halves. We need somebody who can cover left back, mate. We need attacking players left and right, and we need players out the building, mate. I think Albert's just named you a list of midfield players we've got. Do you want to hear that list again, Albert? Because it's frightening.
Only 9 I've got, but there's supposed to be 11. But anyway, Barnes, Fuentes, Devlin, Raskin, Dragovic, Chukwani, Neil, Diamondi, and Rice, all playing central midfield, mate. And I don't think there's a game changer amongst them.
Let's just make one wee point as well before I know you want to talk to other people. See the other thing as well, see me going out and spending £3, £4, £5, £6 million on players, and in a Scottish sort of economic climate, the economics of Scottish football, that's huge sums of money. But the difference really between a player who's 3, 4, 5, 6 million and a guy that's you can get in a free or who's got a good character about him is minimal.
Nothing. There's no. You're not necessarily. It's the same if you spend 12, 15 million, mate, and you send somebody at 5 million. You're not getting 3 times the player. The market's went nuts, mate. It'll all be what country it comes from. That's a factor in it, mate. Because then, because the markets are different. It'll be what age he is, how long he's got to get in his contract, and the people, the Scottish factor, mate. We've got to pay over the odds to get people to come, not our club, mate, to come to our league.
100%. So yeah. It's easy to look at. You're playing Dundee United and you got these guys in a free and whatever. The players we are fielding on the heads and shoulders above the players. Certainly in most cases, if not in every, I get that. Anyway, that was my point.
All right. Albert.
That's true, mate. They're only above these players. That's the point. The whole crux of the matter. We can't afford the players to be the 2 or 3 levels above them. If you look at when we did have good teams, with Gascoignes and all these kind of players, we could afford to bring them in. But this is the sort of standard of player we had to bring in at that time to win the league. It wasn't like we're luxury players. They had to come in and win the league. And that we're still Rangers. We're still viewed as Rangers. Teams plays as Rangers. So we've got to bring 2 players of a higher standard than just to win the league. Because first and foremost, you've got to beat them in the battle. And it is a battle. And Dundee United, for example, just proved it on Friday night. It's a total battle. And if you're not up for it, well, you're going to get you're not winning leagues. It's as simple as that. You're not going to win leagues. And I looked at the players on Friday, and I'm not going to keep going on about them because they spoke for themselves, mate. They don't need all us to slag them. They spoke for themselves because you look at their performance, and if they were true to themselves and they sat in that team meeting room and showed them that game back and just asked them, get them individually and say, how do you think you play? If they're true to themselves, man, they would go, that was abysmal. That was terrible. Even for the standard I'm normally playing at, that's abysmal. Because they're better than what they showed, but they're no brilliant players, but they're better than what they show. And that was terrible on Friday night. But we're not going to get the standard of player that we used to get to win leagues. We're going to have to build a team of mediocrity and build it into a hard team to beat. And it can get results. And it's results that matter. It's results that matter. We don't want a fancy looking team playing expansive, flowing football. You're not going to get that type of team. But what you can do is build a team of parts.
How no, mate.
That's what you can do.
How no? Motherwell done it.
Well, Motherwell done it to an extent, mate. They didn't win the league, did they? They should have won the league in my mind if it was just down to football. They should have won the league, but they didn't win the league. So they didn't do it. They just played some good games, especially against us. We expansive football. They did play some good football. It was good to watch. For a change, other teams try to show you how to play football. It's excellent. But again, they didn't win the league. We're all about winning the league, mate. It's all about winning.
And that's
and
that's how some of the frustrations that come from Friday night, Davy, are so maybe. And I'll give you your point, OTT, mate.
Aye, I agree with just what you said there, but I mean, I'm not making comparisons about we've got we're paying more for their players than what, say, like we're talking about free transfers. I'm talking about getting players out there who want to go out there and leave the whole lot out in the park and give everything. And to me, looking at the two teams inside, there was only one team doing that, and it wasn't us. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm wanting them all to go like that. And was where you say Murrow started, but I'm not prejudging it at the moment because it's a bit early for that. But we're concerned, of course, we are. But let's take one game at a time here. That game's finished. I know what you're calling for, saying, all right, we're 2 points. I'd rather be 2 points than that was your 30th game of the season. You know what I mean?
Aye. I get it, mate. I get it, but look, mate, and the problem is that pressure grows, and that's the trouble when you're playing under pressure. It's a thing you don't need, and pressure lifts, Smurf, when you win games. Oh, Bill. Bob Gear's joined us. Evening, Bob Gear.
Evening, everybody. How you doing?
How you doing,
You're
Bob?
like me. I've just been listening to the show this past week. Well, you're like me. You're just full of anger and frustration after Friday night. And I think what got to us all was just the total lack of creativity. Yeah? We created once and we scored, but it was just an overall poor performance, and it must get better. We ken what we're going into every season. All these places that we go, I don't need to describe them all. You know them all so well. And it's all, like you said, Ox, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. And that's what we've got to put away in Scottish football. McInnes should know that. I'm sure he does. So, hey, we dropped 2 points. We're trailing again. And we'll just have to go on it. We must get better. Because that was not impressive on Friday night. You know, Dundee United Davis take throw-ins and free kicks. They weren't great.
No.
I'm not caring about them right now. No, they weren't great. They were just very ordinary. And so we were down to their level. Very ordinary. And we must get better if we've got any aspirations to be winning this league. And you're right, what we used to buy to win a league is different from what we're buying to try and win it now. And I'm afraid it's different days, different times. And we'll just have to let the circumstances prevail, I'm afraid. But I'm quite sure it will get a bit better. It just simply has to. Because there's nothing, any great high standard in this league. Even the winners of it last year, they were the worst team they'd had in years and they still won it. And that's what got to me. But hey-ho, it's a new season. On we go. All is not lost.
No, I don't think that at all. But we're just critiquing Friday night's game. And I take all Davy's point about it maybe OTT, and we get that all better. But if we come on here and said that Fernandes played well, and so did Sterling and Romans, and Diamandi did an outstanding game, people would want us in the nuthouse. All but.
That's true. I mean, we're critiquing the game as a team performance, then we're critiquing the game on an individual basis. And you're right. You've got to see it the way you see it. No, I mean, I know Davies what he's talking about, and he's right. I'd want to be positive. You want to put a positive spin on it, but you can't put a positive spin on it when you see what you see. Okay, the league's still going. He's right. There's only one game going, and you've got a full league to play yet. But there's definitely concerns for me. I can't hide it. There's concerns, and we can't gloss over this and say it's great and it was all right, or we're going to get better. And you'd hope we're going to get better, because if we get any worse than that, and I'm not going to say you can't get worse than that, because every time you tempt that sort of talk, it happens. So you can get worse, but you're hoping it's going to get better, because it's a low bar. We've set the bar very, very low. So we come out against Hibs, or we come out against the European team and play half decent. It's a massive increase of what we watched there on Friday. So I'm not going to go over the top with that if we actually play well. and maybe get come away with a result, you sit and go, well, it's a bit better, aye. So it's a steady progress, let's put it that way. But the victories must come. They must come. You can't do this with draws and the occasional defeat, and then we get a couple of wee victories. It's got to be steady victories you get. That's the only way you build confidence in a team, steady victories. And it's going in one, it's the old cliche, in it, one game at a time, blah, 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 keep it going, keep it going. Well, that was our one game and we drew it. So we're back to baseline again here. We've got this game on Thursday. So try and win that game and build a momentum for better. So I don't know anything about this team, so I don't know how difficult it's going to be, but I imagine that it's going to be pretty difficult. More difficult than it was Friday night, I would imagine. So again, as you say, we're critiquing it. That's all we're doing. We're not throwing any towel in or giving up or anything like that. None of that talk. It's just that you've got to be honest. You've just got to be honest. You can't kid yourself on.
Yeah. It's difficult because everybody felt a wee bit flat. We know. I think we know where the problems in. I think Derek McInnes knows where the problems in, and I feel his frustration. And I hope he's not getting let down with people with different roles in the club, mate. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, because if it is, mate, when you look at the squad, and I've just actually looked at the European squad, and I'll give you the squad that's been obviously Ben Godfrey's been left out. John Suter's not in it, so that signals that he's away. And there's obviously made a story but Jammy's not in it, but we think the last week. So we'll get Pandur Kelly and Mason Munn. Good to see Mason, one of the players there. So McCrory, Sterling, and Salah, Mkhitaryan, Romans, and Fernandez are doing as defenders. Yeah.
What are you planning to do to Mohamed?
Oh, somebody's telly.
That's me. Anybody else, I'll get rid of it now.
All right.
I'll get rid of the telly, I know.
And then in midfield, Dan Neil, Conor Barron, Diamandi, Asgard, Cammy Devlin, Lyle Cameron, Dragovic, Kasama, who Alex says is a forward player, Chokwane, and Raskin. Up front, Shanklin, Chermiti, Nadiri, Majowski, McCausland, and Gentles, mate. We've still got nothing left and right, mate. And we're not being fair to the gaffer here, in my opinion. We're no helping, and we're putting myself under pressure. If we're trying to get certain deals across to the line, when they're stalling, we always need a plan B, because if they fall, the window will be shut before we know it, and we can't go forward at this moment with this team with so little creativity. Obja?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, that's what got me on Friday night, was the lack of width, the lack of creativity, no chances getting 10. You had that fuck with Shanklin in the first half, and that near header with Nadiri, but that was about it. And the second half, he created one chance and he scored. But I think what we're all saying is, I'm sure all Bear will agree with me, that there seems to be a lack of quality in the squad. I'm not going to say a severe lack of quality, but a good extent of a lack of quality, if you take my point. And that's a bit worried with what we've seen. And we're all sincerely hope everybody's going to knuckle, do another McInnes and get better, because we just simply have to. I'm going to tell him to shut up and you're all right. So
I thought I was all there barking bark at you.
No.
Not your
I'm
cat.
beginning to think that Doug of mine is Tim is always barking at me. No, we just have to get better. And believe you me, apparently this is quite a good team we're playing here on Friday night. They won the Polish League 2 years ago. They'll be big, they'll be strong, and they'll be quick. So we'll have to be up for it. Simple as.
Exactly, mate. But you know, and it's not a surprise that the league started this weekend, mate. You know, it's not a surprise that you've got European games coming up. Obviously, we'd have liked to have won the league and then went straight into the Champions League, not qualifying because of our coefficient. But it's not a surprise. We've known since May that where we're going to be. And this is the frustration now. I get that people will start asking questions, Albert. And you're not going to get every piece of the jigsaw, but I'm going to say it again. We're short at left back, we're short in centre halves, we're short in creative midfielders, we're short in wide men. It's nearly half a team. So somebody has to get their finger out.
I think that's what McInnes was hinting at as well. Now, if he has to go to the games and hint on what you're just saying there, what we're needing, and we're needing it quick, that's a concern. That's a real concern. Because what we were told is this planning had started last season. We get told all this, if you remember. They're telling us, oh, we're already planning for next season, this season. And we were at this stage, 4 weeks left of the transfer window, we're half a team short. A quality, as Bob just says, real quality. We're short, we're really short. Now, it might be deals falling through, it might be all the rest of it, but it's nothing new, is it? It's nothing that you don't expect. Or you'll not get your first signing, or you need to go for your second choice. That's nothing. That just happens all the time. But to be sitting in this position with that squad of players, no, it's really. You look at it and you go, oh, and you write it down. I suggest everybody write it down and look at it in black and white in front of you, and you'll say, wow, oh God, that's not a good squad. That's not what you call a quality squad. So nah, he's right, McInnes, to be concerned, and I think it's unfair myself if they're letting him get into these competitions, and if you're right, if these results go tits up, he's going to be under pressure, and unfairly, as I thought. All the managers early at the beginning of the season, they get unfairly treated because it's a case of you're asked to do near enough the impossible. I mean, Clement never even had a part to play in when he started his Rangers career. It was bordering on lunacy, and still we're at it. We're ill prepared. Why? I don't know. Something needs to be looked at, but we seem to be ill prepared at the start of every season. It needs to be sorted, mate. But again, it's just, you need to get results. This is the pressure. This is what you're up against. You need to get results. You get the results, by the way. None of this bothers anybody. Nobody's talking like this. Nobody's even getting it a second glance. In fact, even people might be looking at the squad and going, it's not a bad squad. We actually might get away with this going forward. But the way it sits at now, you're looking at it against Dundee United one game and going, oh no, oh definitely not. No creativity. You're looking at the West Ham game, no creativity.
Aye. We'll get the last word for Bob, Jer, because obviously all the listeners will be hearing the barking, and they might think...
Yes, okay, I'm taking them out anyway.
All right.
Aye, just like you're right, Albert, just like there's a lot of questions and no lot of answers. I'll get the dog out, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right, Bob.
And I've just had an update, Mister. Somebody we know has watched another game that took place in the city, and they're £20 million. They're questioning name already. They're two new strikers. So there you go. That's the problem. I think Smurf hit the nail on the head. You're signing people for X, Y, and Z now, and it sounds like a lot of money, but it's bargain basement. It's where we're shopping. It's where we are in Scottish football, and I think. Was it during the World Cup or before the World Cup? I think it was Ian Wright talked about the state of Scottish football and compared it to Norway and what they've done in the TV deals and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was Ian Wright, and I'm not Ian Wright's biggest fan for obvious reasons because he never played for us. Yeah, and
yep.
He nailed it, and therein lies the problem, mate. Smurf, you still there, mate?
I'm still here, aye. I think my concern, Ian Wright did say that, and it was 100% right. But Scottish football, the executives, the SFA, SPFL, whatever, they hate Scottish football. We know the ills and the corruption and everything within it. You've got a guy presiding over it that's wrote himself the best contract that Scottish football's ever seen. We can't get rid of the guy. And for all that kind of stuff, there's the TV money and, the size of the league, it's boring. People talk about the Old Firm. The less Old Firm games, the better, because its scarcity of anything drives up to its value. We need to expand the league. There's all sorts that can be done to get to that point. But my concern is Rangers. My concern is Derek McInnes. He's taken the job You know, he's been asked once before and was maybe advised not to take it. He's been asked a second time, and very few people ever get asked a third time. And he's been in there. He himself said that we've got a whole gamut of strikers who cannot create for themselves. They need service, and we don't have the players to provide the service. The only one he's got that can create something out of nothing is Big Chermiti. Yet he doesn't play him. So I would question that. Now, Derek McInnes is a shrewd guy. Maybe there's, you know, maybe there's something underlying or reasons for that we don't know about. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what's going on behind the scenes, how he's been supported, how he's not been supported. Are they waiting to see if they get qualified in Europe, etc., before they start writing checks? Ultimately, he'll be the fall guy and he'll pay for it with his job. And we're one day into it and we're 2 points behind already. And we know how this can end up. It can very, very quickly run away from you.
You just become under more pressure for the next couple of games that you don't need to be. And then obviously we've postponed one game. And if somebody does go on a run, mate, yeah, and they take 9 points and you've got 4. Now you might have a game in hand, but you could be 5 points behind. Yeah,
Oh, easy,
you know,
of course.
You know, these are facts, and well, I'm not saying, but I don't want to upset anybody. And Davey can come in with this. We will draw games of football again, and we might get beat the odd time. We're not going to go through the rest of our history without drawing or winning. But I think the frustrations come out in the OTT bit that Davey Cobbs talks about. They don't come out for Friday night, mate. It's the end of the last season. We know where all the problems is. Yeah, we can all see it. It's unusual for everybody to be pretty much saying after the same hymn sheet where the problems are, David. It's unusual. Usually, I might say something and Albert will say something else. Everybody, left back was short, centre half was short, creative mid, 2 wide men. Yeah, by a distance, mate. In fact, we might need 4 wide men if you accept you're not going to go through. So in other words, you've got to sign another maybe nearly 8 players, which is mental. But if you would wait to the end of September, mate, you've played a lot of football. Sorry, end of August. Davey?
Well, I can define the season.
Davey?
Aye, I can understand where you're coming to there, Rox, but I think a lot of the questions we're talking about and asking here are all hypothetical. But I think we're just getting a wee bit ahead of ourselves. It's too early for all that. We all want the best and we want to see them improving. But to judge, I mean, to start talking about McInnes getting his charters and it's an absolute disgrace. And I know everybody, that's a good thing about the show. You get to express yourself, whether you're right or wrong. But I think we're just jumping the gun a wee bit about this when people making comments that and you can see it on the YouTube channel as well. Get a chance. I'm pretty optimistic. And I've always been optimistic. I've watched them for 65 years. I've been through good times, bad times and crap times. That's what it is. That's what's called supporting your team. But the way we are now, I can just see things, they can get better. And I agree with everybody, they must get better. Of course they do.
Aye, I've not heard anybody calling for Derek McInnes' head, but I think that the point that Albert was making is that if it doesn't go well, he's always a fall guy, Albert.
Fortunately, that is going to be the case. And it's been happening now for too often from Rangers. For my liking, I don't like sacking managers. Never have, never will. I don't think it's the manager's fault. Unless he's doing something absolutely crazy like your man Martin. But apart from that, no, I don't see it as like that Friday night's result. I don't put that down to just the manager. Okay, he might have done his certain choices differently. That's just opinions. That's his opinion. He's paid to do that. But it's the players on the park for me. It's them. It's a problem. But they'll walk away. They'll walk away from it, and it's a manager who will fall on his sword. But it keeps happening. I'm no for sacking McInnes. It wasn't it wasn't my choice. I didn't think he was ideal for the job. But I'll back him all the way. It's just a case of you got to give him a chance. You got to give. It's like the players I know. You give them a chance, but some of these players will give chances to, plenty of chances to, and they just keep dishing up the same crap to you. You go to the end of say, Davey, eventually you go, you're crap, you
Yeah.
need to go.
Yeah.
You definitely need to go. But again, it's no the manager. The manager's putting them out in good faith. He's giving them all a chance. He's putting them on that part, saying, right, show me, get this result. And all they need to do is get the result. That's all it is. And nobody's asked them to be Messi or Ronaldo or anything like that. You're just saying, go and get the results and all do it together. And you'll be better chance of getting the result if you all do it together. But they don't play as a team. I didn't see a team. I don't know if you've seen on Friday, Davey Smurf for yourself, folks. Did you see a team? Am I missing something? Did you see them playing as a team? I didn't.
No, well, can I come in on that?
On you go, mate.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. When you're saying, did I see them playing as a team? No, I didn't. But I seen Dundee United playing as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference? We're miles in front of Dundee United. All right, I made a comment and somebody came up on YouTube saying, but you need quality as much as a performance. But you need both of them. The guy was right. You do need both. And we can't, once we get that blend going, we'll see where we're heading until the new. And I'm bang on with what Ox was saying. We've got to get more out the door. Getting them in, it could be easy. Getting them out's a lot harder.
Aye. Listen, getting them out permanent is harder, mate, because usually we're paying them too much money. Yeah, and they've usually got years to go on their contract and nobody wants to take them off the hand, because they're not performing for us. Some of them aren't even on the pitch. I mean, if the Berjami one's true and it comes to fruition, and obviously it's loan, and it's they're buying them next season, and it's $2.5 million for us. I don't know what the deal will be with his wages this year, but ultimately we're getting money in and we're getting money in for Ant-Man. That's a good bit of business. So I was expecting quite quickly that was going to free to bring somebody else in. That's another. Well, it's another 3 days of the window gone since we played. Our focus is now on Thursday. We've got a game on Sunday. Well, if somebody does come in the door tomorrow, he's not going to be with the first team. He's not going to see them at Saturday when they start warming up for the Sunday game. So the best he'll get is on the bench, and then you're going to maybe take a couple of weeks to get him into the team. And therein lies the problem. We're always playing catch up. We need to get ahead of this curve, and we need to learn. Yeah, and that might take patience and mean that you getting the players out is a hard bit, Smurf. But we have to learn and be in a better position than this at the start of every August, mate, because it's driving me insane.
Plus, it's you've got fractured squads. You look at the turnover of managers and a changing board and various plans partially executed, and then you end up in the mess that you're in. They need to clear the decks, and then once we've cleared the decks, concurrently we need to build that team, and we need to build it for the back. But you couldn't pick one area because there's work to be done all over the pitch. I'd be interested to see what our net spend's been this year so far. It's probably somewhere like 8 to 10 million pound, which might sound a lot of money, but the people that let's dress it up. Our enemies on the other side of the city, they're going out and spending that on one player. I'm not saying that, and I'm not contradicting myself because I get that's the by success. But ultimately, if they get more right than wrong, we're going to be toiling again. We need a reset, and it's got to be a 2 or 3 year thing where we allow Derek McInnes to get his head to bed in to change the culture, because that's what we're talking about here, changing a culture and a way of thinking, and going forward with all joined up, bringing the right types in, with the right profile, and a good mix. We need experience. We need experience as well.
Who has these right types with the right profile? Because
I think
if if you're using them as an example, now I've just been sent a message that their two forwards are being panned tonight. Yeah,
Aye.
right. So the problem is, mate, because we say they're £10 million players, as Albert pointed out earlier on the show, they ain't much better than some of the players other teams are picking up for a free, mate.
No,
Yeah.
that's I made that point myself, and it's 100% correct. But on average, the teams that spend the most tend to win the most trophies, and I mean maybe we can't compete, so we've got to be better in other areas. And I think the tried and trusted and the proven. We spoke about it the other night. Guys with a good character about them, who are industrious and work hard, and in the right circumstances, you've got a bit of quality. Your Chernies, your Seamers, players like that. You know, we're messing about looking for guys that who's that boy we're looking at? Was it Bolton or something last year? We're going to be messing about in that market. We've got to be cute.
That's what Scottish football has, mate.
No,
Like,
I know it is. I get that. I get that.
You know, and we've got to go and get players and offer them OTT, mate. We've got to be realistic, mate, where people are and where English football is. I don't want to go on about it, but this guy was going to the Championship, and I was part of the conversation, mate. It was a £47,000 basic wage, mate. Basic wage in the English Championship, yeah? With all sorts. I've seen the contract at the weekend, yeah?
Where's the brains in going and shopping in that market then?
What's that?
There's no brains in shopping in that market then.
Aye.
You go to a different.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a realistic we have to. Look, it still doesn't mean you can't build a good team. Last word for your good self, old Davy.
Aye, apart from the football, it's great the show's back on. You guys will always be the winners.
Big show for you tomorrow night, Davy. 60, 60, 69.
I know, I
and
heard
that's
it,
the
yes.
years, mate.
Yeah,
You remember
I'll
that?
be in there. I've got a few questions there. I was in Barcelona, you know that.
Yeah, but that was in 72, mate. Yeah. I knew you would buy that. I knew you would buy that book as soon as you seen 69 on the cover, mate.
Oh, aye, but we still had bad games in and all, guys. Look, we take it as it comes. It's what the show. You make a comment, you throw your tuppence worth in. I'm optimistic. I'll give the guy a chance. I'll give the players a chance. Rangers Radio, best show in town. I hope all Rudge is keeping well. And God bless the Dares, guys, and everybody stay safe. So, good night.
Cheers, Davy.
Here, David. Good night from me as well, chaps. Good night.
Cheers, Smurf. Good to hear from you, brother.
Cheers, Smurf.
Albert.
I heard Smurf saying that we spend 10 million players. They spend that in referees, mate, let alone players. Anyway, that's it. It was a good show, mate. Good show, good discussion. Wee bit negative, we know that.
Of course,
but
mate.
It
was never going to be.
Hope.
Never going to be.
No, we're not going to lie. We're not going to lie. You know what I mean? It is what it is. As soon as Rangers start playing better, we'll feel better and we'll be better and it'll be more cheery. But anyway, so we move on. We win that one and move on and on to Thursday night. Let's see what we can do. But a good show. Good old school Blue and Fox doing the technicals as usual. But thanks for that. Yeah,
thanks to Bob Ger and his dog for joining us. Never a tough moment in Rangers there. Thanks to Davey Smart chipping in as well. Albert for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we'll be joined by Davey Herd, who'll talk about his book, The Nearly Men, 66 to 69. Pretty much the Rangers story of that era. So thanks for listening. It'll be great to hear from Davey. Should be interesting tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks everybody getting involved in the show. Take it away, Old School Blue.